Monkey. Ooh. What a day yesterday, huh? Range bugs. And very little progress on the dialogue system. But it is a progress. So, first off, my tea. Okay. So, we found out that the issue was the geometry of the ocean. I'm not sure why it would do that, but let's confirm. Right now it should be gone. As we can see, there's no ocean. Stat unit, right? It is at 5, whatever. Let's put it back in. Just to make sure it's not a restart of the PC problem or something. But I would assume that asset is just toast. I added it in. Where's the shader? There. Right. There it is. Save this. We could also add the background into our islands again. Oh no. Ah, cannot just add it back. Wait. Okay, never mind. At least we have this. Okay, we're good. I didn't delete it from the things, so we still have the position. Ooh, I was scared for a sec. Okay. Now let's go into the game and see if the... Yeah, it goes up. Any stuttering? Well, the stuttering is not here. I assume then it is my... Okay, my PC is getting louder though. Very loud. Does it get as loud when I remove? Wait. Nanite on that thing? I mean, it makes no sense. And nanite not on, and I think we cannot even just add this in, right? It makes no sense. Let's see if that changes anything. Nope. Wait, it didn't save. Is it because you're so close to it? I know that the initial fan spin could be from the generating of the walkable area. Hey Gargon! Merry Christmas! But at least now it doesn't do it. So we are certain it is from that geometry. Why would it then be broken? No sense. And I don't know. People say Merry Christmas then and here and whatever. I also say it. I don't know what happened with this thing, but we could just export this again. But maybe it is just the sheer size that breaks it. So, okay, let's export this plane 2. Unreal, yes. And then maps, dummy backgrounds. No, plane is here. Makes no sense. Wait, we move. Yeah. So now we just import the second plane. Where is it? Background map. This in. And then see if this breaks again or not. Where is it? Oh, here. True. Okay, now for the experiment, if this also makes our frames go crazy, and yes. So the mesh itself is not corrupted, but the mesh is the corruption. How am I doing? I'm puzzled. I'm really puzzled because this is an issue that I didn't have before, and now it is an issue. And I didn't change anything. It's just poof. Now your PC is very, very struggling with this thing. I don't know why. You can see here, right? The frames here. If I go start and then go into a level, you can see that it's tripled. It's now between 10 and 15. And if I go into the background, here, and remove that plane that is causing this issue, and then return to the game, voila, 5 frames. So I'm assuming, since this is a very little hole here and then this is a big ring, it might be struggling to render this, but I mean, it has nothing in the rendering part, it has something with the game logic part, so I don't understand what Unreal makes with this. I deleted this thing. This plane here. This was in Unreal. When this is in, then it just dies. And this is just a plane. Just a plate. Nothing special. Well, technically it's a ring, but I don't understand. So I will now try some things. First off, we keep this saved, go here, and I will take this ring in the middle and merge. Now we will export this, the plane tree. And see how that goes. But how are you, Argon? How was your day? Well, I am doing a new one, but I need to understand the issue. I need to understand what causes this problem. It could be many things, and now I need to go step by step eliminating the question marks. I don't do this error anymore in the future. Now we have the plane 3 here. 4,000, I believe. No. Another 0? Or was it minus? Minus probably. 0, 0. So now we have the plane here without a hole in the middle. See how the frames are this time, and it is very high again. No, It is not high again. It just dropped. Drop back. Your headache. Oh no, man. That's not good. It just had almost Christmas. Background. Okay, so we just saw that the frames are now fine, so it is related to the hole, maybe. So if I add the old plane again, see, just to make sure, the plane 1, save this in, and then we go back to our main map. How do I go back to the main map? Here, no. Now my PC will die, and this doesn't go down. As we can hear, the fans are going crazy now. So he doesn't like small holes in a big space, I would assume. This has nothing to do with item calling now. So we just confirmed that having the hole in the middle makes a big mess. So my next idea would be we copy the original one, copy paste, and edit it. So we have a ring here. Maybe I make just several faces. Wait. Well, instead of just one big triangle or kind of pizza or whatever, we go and say we divide this in 9, so we have 10 faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe this is better. We will have to see. Or maybe I should go for 19. Like a spider net. Let's test this one, I guess. Save this. And export plane 4. Import it in. Maps. Here we need background. Okay. Yes, save it. I mean, could even get rid of the collisions just to be sure, but it has nothing to do with the problem. Before I forget, no collisions, so we don't have problems in the future where some strange physics go on, but I think the original one has no collision. Oh, it has collision. That's interesting. Is that the problem? Oh, what if that is the problem? Plane 3. Go away. Plane 1 is in. And I think the collision is gone here. Maybe it is the collision. Wouldn't it be? That would be funny. Extremely funny. There's the collision here. Make sure. Collision. Default. Let's overwrite it anyway. No collision. Save. That would also explain why we don't have problems here, because we don't see it. And maybe it also explains why it doesn't happen when we are on the islands, because the start area doesn't have any stuff in it. Oh no! Gargon, I know what's going on. Does my nav mesh generate on all geometry? Ah, okay, then that was the solution. I just turned off the collision. So if I go here now, sure enough, that was the problem. It has nothing to do with any of the shape, etc. It just was dying. Like, you remember when I gave you the first package and our friend was complaining that his PC fan's going crazy? It's the same error, just with a hidden plane. That's the problem. My C plane was with hey scene! Just in time to find the solution to the problem. We can get rid of these then. But it is funny. It is funny. The collision problems only happen if I have the hole in the middle. If I have the hole in the middle and make the collision, then probably it generates a very complex collision and it dies with the start area. But if I have the mesh without the hole in the middle, then it's fine again, even though it is blocking. Anyway, that was a strange error. And we should be able to now play without problems. I mean, I do have a little peak at the beginning because the walking area needs to be calculated, but I need to find some optimization of the generation of walkable nav mesh areas. And I think the start area might not need walk areas for NPCs, but we will see. Maybe I want NPCs to walk around, but then I could maybe make smaller areas for them to walk in, and then the calculation could be limited there. All right, I'm happy that we found a solution to this rather quickly. Remove these. Save. And let's continue with our dialogue. Don't push it, Gargon. I might attack. Just saying. Okay. Let's come back to this thing. Now, last time I was able to implement something nice where I can open... Cool, I forgot a breakpoint there. Where I can open the thing and it goes here and stops. And if I press space now, it scrolls up, gives us the next text block, and then I can scroll up and get the last one. So now we have multiple more things we could do or have to do. First, I commissioned the artist that made a better concept of mirror when I was like, yeah, my output is not good. That artist made a concept. So I gave that to a 3D artist to make, but I never received any status from that. So I'm not sure how that will go, the 3D part, but the concept artist is pretty quick. So I was asking them if they could make some portrait of Mira we could put here. And sure enough, after one day, I got a little image. So why don't we add that in? Just to have something there. So first off, I need to find it. I have a new folder called commissions. And here they are. Now we just need to choose the one we like. There's even background color. We could go with a transparent one and then just be able to change the background as we wish. I feel like this could be good. Let's try. So, do I need to make a material for this? I don't remember, but I think it is generally better to have a material for it, but let's see what happens if I don't. First, user interface. No bitmaps. Fine. And the nearest, we don't want any compressions. So the image, add here. Nice. Let's see. Look at that. Kind of feels like a game now. I feel like the lines might be a little too thin and I see some aliasing problems. Yeah. And it does change the feel of the game, doesn't it? We use this one. Maybe it is not aliasing problems, I'm not sure. But yeah, this is just a dummy anyway. You demand a special language. Maybe I will make it so that the language translation could be moddable, and then you can do your own language in there. Okay, so Function-wise, we are now soft-locked. Or hard-locked, actually, because we cannot move, etc. Because this is all our dialogue system can handle. Yes, I commissioned Mira's 3D model on two different artists. That was like September, October, and I never heard back from them. One I heard back and I received a status, but the problem is if the 3D artists are not working fast, relatively fast, let's say, I don't know, monthly basis, then how am I going to trust to make more assets with them? The visual style needs to be the same, so I need to hire the same artist. So yeah, I love their style. It fits my game perfectly, but if they cannot deliver in a, how to say, sustainable time frame, then yeah, I need to look further. Yes. I don't know if I have it saved here. Let me see if I can find it. I imagine I showed it to you. Was it some other viewer? I don't remember. Let me see. I need to find it real quick. So, here, chats. Where do I have it? Oh well. So first off, this is from the concept artist that helped me to redefine Mira. That's a while ago now, but this is the concept. And then I received a status after I asked of how the model is going. You never seen this? Then it was another viewer. And then I received this. And it's pretty good. But yeah, it's still not finished. Like this status was from 4th of December. They apparently are moving right now, but I tried to commission them like, I don't know, was it September? Let's see. It was even August. My first contact with them was August, and they were like ghosting. And then they said, yeah, no time, but maybe next month. And then 2 months passed, and they were like, are you still interested? And I was just saying yes. And yeah, I mean, they have talent, but For a first interaction, I'm not sure. And the other artists never came back. But they are also working on an own game, so I reckon they have no time. But why would you accept commissions if you have no time to work on them? And here I am, just waiting, and when I get the result, it will look very nice, but what should I do? I cannot add it. Because I need someone that can handle more characters than just one in a year. But yeah, at least for the concept artist, I'm pretty happy that I found them. Why is the thumbnails strange? Interesting cut. So yeah, first off, this image needs to be put from this part. I probably also need to add textures here. So I guess this is fine. Just having an image instead of a material. Which means I need to change the structs for my asset data. Well, I mean, I asked them to make an image, like a portrait, like in a JRPG, so they pretty much nailed it. Okay, Oh, I forgot my tea! My god. Is it cold? It's cold. Man, it's lukewarm. I'm sad. That doesn't rhyme. Yes, right. Concept for the Orblings, yes, a lot of them. I can show you. But that's from different concept artists. That was like the Kickstarter to me going back to developments after my burnout. Let's see. Where did I put them? Lines. Probably here. Up. Oh my god, where are the concept arts? I might need to reorganize my stuff. Exports, design, commissions, 2D maybe? Character reference. Ah, here's the reference for Mira. And the Orblings are also here, perfect. So let's see. Which one is this? Yeah, this was not it. This was grabbed. Here's the design idea for shroomies. The green guys, the earth ones, which will be like mushrooms with instruments. What do we have else here? Oh yeah, galaxy cats. These are fire orblings. They will handle with fire magic and stuff. And the theme is always on the light side they are awesome or cute, and on the dark side they are cute or scary, or both. Let's find a dark side one. These ones. They're like slimes. But you can see the evolutions. There's always the starter, and then they go into one of the paths, and then they evolve. The bottom one is like a mix of those sea slugs with these bunny ears and the murderous bunnies from Monty Python. Yes, when gravity is reversed, we are on the dark side. That's also why it's themed after magenta, cyan, and yellow, which is the opposite of RGB. RGB being white in my case, but of course, just depends on how you would add the colors. What else do we have? I have a lot of concepts here. I'm not sure if I want to show them yet. Here's another one. This will be air orblings, which is the harassment class. And the theme here was like insects, and then in a, how to say, I'm not sure. More like some mythical story character or beast, whatever. Like a vampire or a djinn, or I'm not sure what I was thinking about here. But yeah, this is now like years old. But yeah, the whole game is around this white, black, light, darkness theme. I still need to get that feeling in the islands when you jump on the other side, to get that feeling that you are in the dark side. Right now everything is very bright, and the sun is always out too, but I can show you what my idea was for this. There's a game called Illusion of Gaia, if you know this one. What is part? Sky Garden. The There's a level in that game where you get teleported into a hidden flying world. The music is wrong here. This is not the correct one. It's not showing the actual music of the game. It's just a remix, I guess. But yeah, you can see on the grounds where you come from. It's the Nazca lines. And everything is bright, etc. And then the character can jump at these edges. I hope he will do that at some point. Let's skip a little bit. And then they can jump to the other side. And then they are on the dark side. Of course, in the game it's not called dark side, but you can feel it is like a mirror image of the other side. And it feels like the textures and so on are also in a darker palette. So I want to get that feeling into the game. You can see the sky and so on. It is a great contrast. And in my game you can also look up and then see the ground. If the feeling of the perspective I nailed, but not the atmosphere. That is still missing. This one of the games is very dear to me. I can highly recommend playing it. Oh, sorry. So let's continue adding the data in here. Funnily enough, there is a flying castle in an open world game I'm playing called Wuthering Waves. Well, isn't that a rather new game? Which has similar mechanic, where you can reverse gravity. Do you ever plan to stream in it live at some point? I'm not sure, because the original game I have is in German and not in English, and I rather try not to emulate. I try to stream from the original hardware, or at least original software I have. And still, since I know the game inside out, I'm not sure if it is interesting to watch. The backdrop is above the clouds, so you don't see the landscape or anything. Ah yeah, then you see the clouds, I guess. Maybe as an April Fool's day joke. Why? Sometimes you see treasure chest hanging on the ceiling. Otherwise, on side structures. No. I guess one should reverse gravity to get it. Yeah, but as you can see, my game is not physics heavy. Like, there is no physics at all. So in my case, it will be more traversal puzzles maybe. I need to see. Right now, traversing my islands are rather boring. You can walk. Maybe that's fine. Maybe I shouldn't make it overcomplicated. But I think it should have some kind of how to say, some element to make it harder to just go from point A to B initially. Like some blockages that you have to open from some other areas, etc. I need to experiment with these ideas. Texture. And we call this portrait. Is this how you write portrait? I probably botched it. There's a I missing in there, isn't it? Portrait. Like this. Wall, ceiling walking. Ooh. Can NPCs also walk there? You had different problems than me. How do you manage sight of enemies? Is it just a raycast or do they have some kind of collision? Ah, you made your own nav mesh. Yeah, I just worked with a workaround. Sadly, my approach cannot handle sideways gravity, only up or down. I see. Okay, portrait maybe above the text. It is the settings. Should be here. No, where's the content? Function, payload. Am I in? Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. God damn it. This one. Function, text animation settings, text by language, and then portrait, texture. Texture 2D or texture? What's the difference? Do you know the difference here? Let's say texture, whatever. Put it in here. Save, and now I need to open all the structs and save them multiple times. Because Unreal cannot handle all references from struct in a struct. I will just randomly save them all over. Just to make sure that my game doesn't crash. There we go. I would assume too. And now this is functions. Ah, I need to save this thing too. Compile, save, and now portrait here. Let's make a dummy portrait too. What is the dimensions of this? 1400. Maybe that's a little too big. But I do have the raw data, so I can export my own sizes. But let's make our own little dummy portrait, so I can see if we can change the pictures. How large should this be? 800 by 800? Depending on what resolution we aim for, this might be still too much. But ellipse. Go with this. I would like to move you. Can I move you left and right? Yes. 400. Why is... wait, where is the center? Here. This would be kinda in the middle. Okay, how do I... give up. Whatever. Something like this. And then we can fill tool with black. And then we'll do some kind of head here. So. And this is our dummy portrait. Even though this is strange, why would it do this? Isn't this very strange? Pencil tool. Okay. Export as... Where do we export this? This needs to be in the 2D area. Where would I even put it? Maybe a UI area? It's... I have a dialog one. And then in here, portraits. And this is then the dummy one. Save. Compression, no compression. Export. Could even save this project, but I mean it's just a circle. Save as projects 2D UI. Oh wait, there's a UI elements one. What's in here? Maybe I have to move them at some point. Was this a better idea to have it like this? Let's save. Okay. Now we can import. There it is. Very dark. Not vector, UI. Where's my UI? This one. Safe. So let's say the first one is this, and let's put mirror in the second as a reward that my functionality works. So if we see mirror, then I think we did good progress today. But for now, we will not see her since the functionality is not implemented yet. Okay, we see her because I didn't even implemented the correct access for the pictures. So let's do that now. Ooh, okay. Every time we read the next node, we need to do this. Align, add next characters. Where's the state machine? Here. Execute node. Animate dialog texts. It gets the text here, but now it also needs to get the texture. And maybe the name of the function is not correct, but that's fine. Can always change that. Sure. Okay. Now we have to make this a variable. Maybe this. Just to make sure we have no conflicts with namings. Set image. No, set brush make from texture. Why would it have custom? Okay, it gets it from the thing, so maybe we could also read that out. This is a better idea. Get size X. Okay. Okay, texture is wrong. We have to change that now. It is texture 2D. I mean, this has no children that would be affected, so these saves make no sense anyway. The only thing I need to do is this one. Save, and then is this now 2D? We can't tell. How can I see the type of this? I mean, I clearly have the type as 2D here, but yeah. We have to put this somewhere. Ideally, somewhere where the content is being made. I'm concerned that this didn't go away. But here it is. So now I would need to be able to go to the next node by pressing space, and then we would see Mira. So let's try that. I mean, there are so many things I need to do, like the skipping functionality and so on, but just one step after the other, I guess. Here's the skip. No, I mean, they go for next, and then we are here and at the end, but I think I'm... are we? Are we detecting the end right now? I think I'm setting the end, but I'm not sure if the functionality is correct. Yes, we can detect the end. So from there we could say that the next node needs to be started. Could go for next, but we probably need to know the function. Okay, now this is very important to know. If I have multiple functions, I need to make sure this functionality here does something different. But right now, it should only do the one function that is next. If we are at the end, we need to check the functions. String ID, string. Where are the content stuff? Where do we get it right now? Here. Int ID 3. Current ID. Current ID is here. I can get it from here. We even set this as an ID. This is dicey. If I execute a node, the current ID needs to be the ID we are in. How do we set the current ID right now? Are we even? Only in initialize and then never ever. What we need to do is not this. Start ID is always 0 anyway. I think this is not needed. Start ID is smaller than length. Defaults. Yeah, I would need to make a better failsafe here. Thanks, auto save that I cannot write anymore. Make failsafe for start ID if minus or larger than node count. But before I continue, be right back. Okay, I am back. Where was I? Part 3. This one should make this as current. We already have a failsafe here. Or higher ones. Do this. Okay. Let's see. Now, the current ID is getting set when we arrive at a node. Which means now if we do current ID +1 would work. Just need to fire the function. That's interesting. I don't even need to get this because this should handle it. All I have to do is I either need to find out which function has been pressed if we have more than one function. Back. This is also bound to this one, right? Function press signal is not calling here, but it should. This one is bound though in the state machine, I believe. It is. So this, the function and my keyboard can go here. For now, we'll just say it is always the first function. We don't need this. Also don't need this. And here now, get current ID this. Make it, and the rest is. I should get some tea, just a sec. Okay. Didn't we have this already? So function listener and function switch. Guess we just go for function switch then. Payload. This makes sense. So with this, now it should go into next node with this and then execute the next. And start the text animation again. But since I'm not clearing the text, we might have some errors here now. But we should at least be able to go to the next text part. If I press space now, it should happen, but it doesn't. So what is breaking or what is not triggering the are at? Ooh. We are here and we do this. Why does this fail? And oh, I mean 0, yes, that's correct. No function data, that can't be. There's at least one function which is go next. So we go with go next and payload. Right, go next, yes. Which is ID plus 1, which is now 1. This thing is a length of 2, 1 is smaller than 2, which is true. Current ID 0. That's funny. Could be like this. Okay, same error. Oh cool, if we spam space, something funny happens. Or not. Ah. Okay, there's a bug when we press space while the page is turning. I believe we are not setting it to be writing text that thinks that we can move up. Keep that in back of our heads. Fix it later. This is wrong. Oh wait, maybe we just don't have text in there. Fair enough. Text is being written here above now. So let's clear dialog texts. Need this thing. We need to clear this. So we need to clear, but we might also want to scroll up and so on. Might be a little challenging. Scroll up, clear the thing, make the scrolling back. Try this instead. Ah, there you go. Nice. So now at this point, I'm not sure if I want to scroll up or just leave it as this function I have right now, where it just appears here. We might need some kind of polish for that or some other animation, but the skip here is nice. The scrolling up. Fine. So we have now two things we immediately want to do. One is being able to skip. State of the state machine needs to know what state we are, which it doesn't, since it can break the writing animation. And we also need to be able to exit the dialogue. With this thing. Good. How did we handle exits? Oh, Patat, hello! Hello, hello. How are you doing? You said the same thing you would say in VR chat. I'm also good. Yeah, you always say good, good, and you. You never noticed? Because you say it every time. What do you mean unfair? It's your brain, I can't do anything about that. Log note. Do I state machine? What am I up to? I'm building a dialogue system right now, and I've made a lot of functionality. Like I can go and trigger a dialogue, and you can see there's a portrait and there's text with a typewriter effect, and if I now the text has more text here, if I press space it goes to the next page, and if I press space it goes to the next page, and if I press space now the second dialogue would happen, which is Mira saying Mira, 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 and then this thing. And the next thing I want to add is when we are at the end of a tree, that it stops the dialogue and we can walk again. Because here now it is soft locked. Hello, Mira. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Yeah, right? The game is looking more like a game every feature I'm adding. Now I'm looking at my old dialogue system, how that worked before, because I need to know how I clean up the UI. This makes the tree dialogue default creation behavior, note, clear, execute graph. Close dialogue. Probably this thing. If there is no node, then you close the tree. Object, level object, root, resume, close menu, and clear dialog graph. So this needs to happen, which is the exit tree here. Yeah, just do whatever. I believe when I start the tree and then execute it here, I do freeze the logic. Animate dialog text. Clear text area, clear text. Where am I freezing? Maybe it's the state machine itself. Wait, I was in the state machine already. Am I doing this? Guess we have to go a little deeper. Friends. Here. And my brain is so strange. Sometimes I just black out and then I cannot concentrate. Dialogue interaction. It's so hard to catch me when I do that. And sometimes I am aware that I'm in a blackout and I cannot stop. It just stays in a blackout. Like being imprisoned by your brain. It's so strange. Yeah, right. So annoying when you need to concentrate and it just doesn't happen. Here it is. So my little interaction does the freezing already. I need to unfreeze from the state machine or from the UI, but I would rather do it from the state machine. And then close the thing and do whatever. So, resume, close menu, and here we need to clear the graph that we just created. The graph we are doing by initialize tree and bind function input, so we have to reverse this now. Let's see. First, this needs to be cleared. And the widgets, that gets cleared by the UI. So there's really not much to do. I just need to clear this and then we're good. Does this thing be handled by the UI controller, but we have to make sure that that is true. Let's add this here for now. More like this. Here. Are you kidding me? Thank you. So close menu, what does this do? Goes here, close menu. Remove widget. I wonder if remove widget is enough. Probably not. I probably have manually to remove the bindings too, or the widget might not get cleaned up. Let's do it anyway. So where do we do the bindings? Here. We have to reverse this somehow. Unbind. Function pressed. Unbind all, we could say, but this is cleaner. And then the same thing for UI feedback. Unbind. Here we go. Away. Goes there. And before we close this, we should do it. Okay. So with this, I would assume that we can resume playing again. Let's see if it's working out for us. Haha! And time is resuming. If I start the dialogue, you can see that the shadow is not moving anymore because the time is stopped. But we can still see the breathing animation and the wind moving our hair. I don't know if I need to freeze those two, but I think this is fine. And when I stop the dialogue, you can see that the shadow is moving because the sun is moving again. Here. All right. So the major functionality for the dialogue is done. There are now two paths we have to go and finish, which is firstly the skip functionality for when the text appears. So when we press space while it's writing, it needs to write the whole text. And secondly, we have to add the function buttons when we have like dialogue choices. And when these two are done, we have to implement special functionalities like when we go into the shop, that something else happens when something finishes. Why is the sun so small? Because I never actually did something for the sun. This is the standard Unreal sun. It's the normal size of a sun actually, of real life. But yeah, I agree, it is very small right now. But I'm not sure if I increase it how it will affect my game. So for now it's just this. I already removed many standard things from Unreal, like the standard skybox, clouds, etc. Well, it's not a skybox cloud, but the cloud system and the fog and so on I removed. So now we have only blue sky there, and I have my own stopping thing here. Oh, I forgot I need to add back the ocean shader. Let me quickly add this. I guess that works. I'm not sure. Let's see. I would assume that we can see shader, yes. Alright, so let's keep going with the skipping functionality. Thank you, but I need to... Yes, I did it myself, but I need to work on it at some point again, because it looks good for, how to say, the initial impression might be like, it looks good, but an ocean does not look like this. You don't see like these lines. It makes no sense. So either I find a better solution, or I hope that no one is critiquing it. But yeah, I mean, the overall look of the background will change over time. It's just dummy stuff. We will not be close to the ocean ever. Maybe in post-game credit scene or something like that, we might be. But the main game only plays around here. Like, we are only here in this crater. We can't even go here. This is just decoration. We can't go into these little villages or whatever. They're just decoration. All we do is go up to these islands up here. Yes, only the center. I mean, the islands could be like here, here, and whatever, all over the place. Because this is only the tutorial world. These 5 islands will be the tutorial world. But there will be branching areas. There will be a hub world here. And then there will be 3 paths going upwards, which meet into another hub world. And then there are more islands and then another hub worlds. And there will be like 4 hub worlds. And your goal is to get to the top. But yeah, after that, even that is only Act 1. And then this world will be destroyed and you will be in another world. So yeah, we will not be close to the sea. We will always see it like maybe from here. And if you look from here, it looks kind of odd, if you ask me. I mean, it has a charm, maybe. It is a digital world in the end, but... Yes, destroyed. The lore in this game is that you will be transferred here as a user. And this is a digital world. This is a game world that is in your PC. The guys inside might not know this, but you as the player know that you are in a digital world. And you're tasked with something to do here. And you are not Mira. You are not Mira. Mira is the character that finds you. You control Mira, but Mira is actually walking by herself. You will be like some kind of artifact she finds and then can talk to you. But I also need to introduce more characters to make these things make more sense. There's so much to do still. So let's add the skipping functionality. Will Mira be destroyed with the island? No, actually, she will not be destroyed. But maybe I will change my mind. Who knows? Everything is a concept right now. I'm in pre-production. So nothing is set on stone. I'm not evil, I'm monkey. Hello, monkey. Oh. While we are doing this, we'll probably need to go here and then do the skipping. Now, how do we skip though? This is the wrong thing. We need a function here to skip writing. At skip to end of text while writing or something. So this is the animation that happens. This guy just takes the current content text line count. No, that's not it. It takes somewhere the text. Create lines. Oh no, we also need to create lines. That will be interesting. Oh, this might be a little more complicated than I thought. So, for sure, we need to do this. That we can already send over. We also need to know if we are skipping or at the end. So this is something we have to keep in mind. We need to test for this. This is the text we will write. So now it will have like everything, but we need to add the lines. I guess I don't need to add too much logic in. I can just go and read the correct clusters. Current string to display. That will all be set, I hope. I think the current letter index is whatever, but the current line, create new text line, that might be a problem. Because we go with the current line here. I cannot just say create new line. If there is already a line, I need to create a new line according to that. We might also just read line contents that we find, but makes no sense. This feels a little challenging. I basically have to do this without iteration. Instead of making this jump, get current line string, we need to fill this and then see if we have a next one. Current line. Do that and create. How would this even go? Here we do new line and we check here with the, if we are at the end. And here we check if we are at the end of everything, which is this. Current line, current content text count, text line count. Okay, this is needed. And while this is happening, we also need to create a new one. Current string to display is not that important, but this is important. Is there anything else we need? Last index set with the current string to display is not correct, but let's see. This is not needed. This is needed. So we need like a some kind of loop. It begins with this to make sure the current line is finished. Get current line string. Then current line. Wait. Current line +1. Max line count. Okay, with this we can know if we are in the skip or not skip. We also need to check something else, which is this part. So, if the current line is smaller than whatever our maximum is for that part, is this the length of the lines? Yes. So if false, this will go to text end. This invalidate needs to happen anyway at the start. This will bring us in the end. So this is filled. If not, we have to check, hey, if current line +1 would be still in this thing, counts, or else we need to create one and go back and then try again and stuff, which could make a endless loop. But I am confident that I will not do that bug. Anyway, so current line +1 is the next line. If that is in the range of the line counts in the cluster, so 0, 1, 2 in our case, which means if this is not 0, then the next line needs to happen, else we are done. Current line, and this needs to do the set stuff. Create new line. Does that also make a plus for the current line? No. Where do we add? It's here. Current letter index -1. Probably still need that. So we do this and this. Current line is current line +1. Here we already know that we are how do we do the letter? Where do we scan this first? I don't care right now. It's because of the +1 here. Where do we set this as 0? Needs to be 0 at some point. Ah, it is this thing. Okay, that's fine. If we skip, this thing needs to be 0 anyway, so this can be happening at the end, but the initialize should handle this anyway. But no, I need to do this because of the clusters. So +1 makes it the next line. Now after the create, we need to go into set text again. And then we would check, hey, are we at the end of the text? If yes, if yes, then whatever. Else we check if we are at the end of the cluster. Which would do this. And this needs to go back here. Oops. That. So I believe this should add the skip functionality now, which should be now added here. While we're writing, we want to be able to skip. Let's see how this goes. So it's writing, I skip. Oh, it's only skipping to the next line. That's not good. Should skip everything. So why does this not happen? Current. So we do write, we check. Current line. Yeah, right. But sadly, one line is not enough. I make a logical mistake on the ifs again. I think I did, because here it should be the other way around. If I remember correctly, this functionality does it different. Yes, this should be the other way around without thinking. Let's see if it works now. We do have some warnings though. Something is reading -1. -1 at what? Access index -1 from array. Character array from string. Interesting. Did I leave it as -1 somewhere here? Oops. It's of course not correct. Okay, now it should get rid of the error or the warning. Now the thing is... Oh, that was strange. You see that? Aha! I thought I might be... my function for the page turn might be too fast for it to break, but it is actually not fast enough. So there is one more thing we have to do. Just, that makes no sense. Why is it breaking? Because my page turn does not give us any... Let's slow down. Let's slow down so I can perfectly aim my inputs. I don't know. Make it like this. Thing. Okay, save. I think it does not understand that it should be in page turn. That makes no sense right now. Not implemented yet should be triggering a lot. It's not getting triggered at all. Yeah, I'm like the monkey in front of a typewriter, and randomly there is a chance that I might be writing Shakespeare. But here I am, writing a game instead. Which is ironic, because we do have a dialogue thing with a typewriter effect. So I am actually writing on a typewriter. How ironic. Very ironic. Why does this not happen? Turn. I don't think that's how a haiku is. A haiku needs to be in a specific word count. Was it 454? 353? Something like that. God, my brain is not braining. I might stop here. Is it philosophical? I don't think it is philosophical, it's just... how to say? Inception? Skip to end of writing. Page turning. It's not happening. This is probably happening. Probably happening. Let's make this slower. So normally it would be 0.5, but let's do 0.001 or something. See what happens if I put mesh here now. Okay, that works. Remove 1, 0. Will be very slow. Ah, what was that? I think it's the skipping function itself. It's not the page turn. How did I do that? Oh my god. I hitting this right at the end and then it just dies? What could this be? How can I skip while this is an atomic function? Can this make a strange behavior here? Let's take this. Do. I guess something here not correct. Feel like you're adding this thing at the wrong position. Create new line at current line. I do +1 though. It looked like the first line was doubled and then the next one was skipped and the third one was filled. So it feels like this text is going for the last because it's added, but this is actually not the last. No, the problem is not this thing. The problem is the offset is not getting correctly added. Current line. Constant max, current line. Makes no sense. I'm clearly adding a current line before this here, which means it needs to be always the next. How can this ever add no sense? Makes no sense. How can I break this? What am I pressing that this is there it was again. Do I even need to be fast to break this? What is this error? This is even beyond of what is happening. Yep, so it is in here. That text cannot find the object. Excuse me? How is that possible? Oh! Damn! Oh, this is bad. I know maybe why this error happens, but not the skipping error. But this one, I might know. If we go logically here, the set text. Okay, the error itself, let's read that first. The error itself says, runtime error, access none trying to read real property call array get item whatever. This means, translated, that whatever we are getting here, this is an invalid object. But we do have a text line object here, which should give us always a valid option. Because we are creating and just adding, and the last one is never broken. That means we might be in a situation where the object is getting created, but because it's a UI, it is not finished creating, because it is a runtime thing, which needs a little more time than immediate creation. So I might need to skip a tick to get the real UI element here. Which is bad, because this would make this function here very, very broken. I would need to add a delay to be able to do this. Which would also mean that this error happens also when I not button smash. But it didn't happen when, right? Only happens when it's very fast, like here. Seems to be skipping a line and then writing it in one line further. Here. And this line is broken. It's mir. It's not mira, it's mir. How could this be? I'm not sure. It's not relevant, because my text, whatever, is not as in other games, because Unreal is very strange with text. I have a text field for every single line. And what I do is just fill them when I skip. Just an infinite speed, so to speak. Problem is more like the indexing of the lines. And I need to work with lines. I cannot just have a text field, because Unreal does not understand how line breaks work. And line breaks always add a space, and that's not something we can delete, sadly. So we are forced to work with these lines, and this is actually not a problem. Problem is there is some logical error here. Not sure where. Because whatever happens here, this should never be invalid, but it is invalid. Print. What the... Oh, let's do this. Auto skipping by continuously pressing the button. We are not in a light novel or visual novel. Also, visual novels have a different key for that. So we entered here. Last index. This thing is 0. How did this happen? Why is this empty? Okay. That's interesting. That's very interesting, actually. So we cannot just assume in what index we are, because sometimes the line isn't even created when we skip. I'm pressing so fast that the first letter isn't even getting written. I'm pressing so fast that the line isn't even there yet. And this bug can only happen at the beginning of the dialogue node. Just the first part. This does not happen when we turn pages. It only happens when we start the text part, which is like when the dummy picture is there and the beginning of Mira's head. This can never happen at any other point. Let's see if that's true. I just pressed once this time, but I guess it's broken. Will break again. It cannot. Since it's broken once, it is now in a death loop, so I make sure this goes on. I would need to go back here. Just of course an error. But for now it's just a testing thing. So here I press very fast at the beginning. Now this, if I do it again, I cannot trigger this error. Just this part cannot have the same error. So if we double to it here, we can kinda see the error, but it's a different error there. There are multiple errors going around here. The first thing is that we cannot assume in what index we are, apparently. This current line might be at the correct position, but this might be not created yet, which means we should not go with the last. We should go with whatever is in here, then look for if it's valid. If it is valid, we just continue. I mean, this isn't even needed here. To go here, we could just go here because this cannot happen, but put it just there in case, because I don't want to think. If it's not valid, we create another line. Could mean could just skip this, because if we not skip, the part doesn't make sense. So let's make it like this instead. This is one error that is now fixed with the logic here for the skipping. Let's see if it works. Add some warnings. But the text doesn't seem to be having the problems anymore. So that's the fix for this, I guess, which is good. Let's see where the warning is. Attempt to access index 6 from array text line object of length 6. Dialog main widget. Text line objects is the array we were just looking at. So we tried to look. Ah, of course, yes. We fixed the error, but now we fixed it in a way where we check errorful place. So in order to fix this, now we have to make a check here. This is valid, makes no sense. Need to look length. If this one is smaller than this, if true, then go to text. If false, make a new line. And with this it should work. Now it shouldn't have any warnings. See? There we go. Completely fixed. Now the only skipping part we need to add is that when we are actually in the page turn, which if we slow it down again, and we could hasten this again, 0.05 it was, right? Page turn animation. Wait. Yeah, let's make this slower now. 0. No, that's not the issue. I mean, okay, of course, can interpolate it differently or lerp differently than it is again slower. So this page skipping up thing, here we want to be able to skip to. So this text here would be here. It's not an immediate priority, but we should add it anyway. Because the user will never press as fast to notice it precisely. If they are able to press this very fast, then either they are a speedrunner or someone that mashes the keys. A speedrunner makes it deliberately. Someone who smashes the keys will never notice that it is not skipping. So I think I will implement this next time. Speedrunner does not need this anyway. Will not break anything. But yeah, next time I think we will... Okay, let me make this a little bit cleaner. This is like a battlefield. Oh, that's good. This is not needed. Right. Yes. This is not needed. Okay. Oh, wait. This should stay there. Invalidate the tick rates. Here. Okay. Line. Text. Thing. Whoop. I don't care. Goes in here. Oh, how was it? Q? Yes. There we go. Okay. Wait, let's check the other functions too. I forgot anything. Release pressed. Huh. I even use these. Am I piping this through? Dialogue listener. Pressed. Huh, I'm probably not doing that. I don't have a release thing. Do I actually bind these somewhere? That would be scary. No, we are not binding these, which is good because we are communicating with the state machine over here and then going for the functions over there. So we should delete these two. Here. Fine. Nice. Can you just go into the function? Oh my god! Okay, Unreal is broken again. I cannot get to the functions by double click anymore. So stupid. Okay, seems fine. Initialize. Where was I? Was I here? Okay. This is fine. Start 3. Okay. With break. Why would I need to break here? Conditions met. Okay, this is always true. This makes it false, which means we can break at that point. But am I even using this? I believe we got rid of this. Oh, never mind, we are using it. Condition met. Function get time. Call function. Didn't I have a helper function for this? Content, blueprints, helper, utility. Are all progressions met? Looks like this. And here. Find, contain. It's the same function. Okay, we need to look at this. Might be something that needs to get deleted. Check all conditions met function in where? State machine. Okay. And then there are more things to implement here. Add function, gray out, function listener. This is gone. This needs to be implemented next. All right. We are done. So, what did we do? We fixed my PC exploding bug, and we added page turnings. We added next node. We added skipping, and we added exiting dialogue. I think that's good progress here. Alrighty. I'll take a little break, like 15 minutes, and then I will continue developing the VR chat avatar. But for now, Gargon, Patat, thanks for tuning in. Scene, if you see this, thanks as always. Everyone, thanks for watching. Bevy. Maybe why are you not writing anymore? Are you? Minus 100 monkey points. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. And I will see you guys next time. Bye bye monkey. Bye bye.